An interview normally also should not exceed 60 minutes. This is my experience. So everything between 15 to 20 or 15 to 60 minutes. This is my experience. This is the normal time frame of a professional job interview. Yeah, and every job interview is different. That's my experience. No job interview I have done is the same. They are similar in structure, like an introduction, and then the tell me about yourself section, where the employer asks you to share a little bit about yourself. Then these typical questions they will raise and you answer them, and then there will be a conclusion. But every interview, in my experience, was always different in terms of first and foremost what kind of questions I was asked, And this is also the main focus of this online class here, because I had interviews where it was very, very, very relaxed, I had a nice chit chat with the person on the phone. It was more like a private conversation. These are these people who just want to get to know you. I assume these are people who operating from their gut feeling. They just want to see how is the chemistry between me and this guy, this candidate, and then they will make a decision. But I also had interviews where it was really, really tough. And one of these job interviews, which I will never forget, was the Ritz Carlton Company. The Ritz Carlton Company has a special set of interview questions. They have a system how to screen applicants, and this system is famous or infamous, whatever you want. And I've underwent this screening with Ritz Carlton many years ago, and I can tell you that was the toughest ever. And I remember they asked about 140 questions. Yeah, the interview, of course, was scheduled, and they were telling me, the interview will take about an hour or so, and we will ask you 140 questions, and then you will have like 1 minute time to answer each question. And if you cannot answer the questions, or if you don't know how to answer, then you can skip the answer and so on. And I remember seeking advice also from other colleagues. I told them I have a Ritz Carlton interview, and some friends told me, oh my God, that's crazy. I've done the same and I failed, I didn't pass. And, but at the time, there was the internet already, so I looked up, I tried to find these questions online, and I found them, I prepared. There was another friend who already, like I mentioned, failed, but he shared with me his the questions they asked, these kind of things, so I prepared well. And long story short, I actually passed the interview, but I can tell you, I remember it was very, very tough. Yes, and I remember there were like out of, was it 140 questions? It was, sorry, I have to correct myself, not 140 questions, but about 45 questions, because the interview was roughly around 40 minutes. And so like between 40 and 45 questions, but that's already enough. And there were like a handful of questions where I did not know the answer. I simply had to pass. I had to say, next question, please. And that was my experience. So, but I also had very, very easygoing interviews where I landed the job after a 10-minute conversation. So that's how it can go. But this is no, let's say, a free ticket that you do not prepare. That would be the most foolish thing to do if you do not prepare for your next job interview, especially for all these questions and answers, because you never really know who is sitting opposite of you and what they want to know and how they want to test you, and they will test you, and so that's what I wanted to share about my experience.